600 monuments in India. So, but on 21st century, we also feel, yes, we cannot alone do all this challenging task of preservation and protection of this heritage. So definitely we need also some public and private partnership in the form of INTAC and some other organizations. Already INTAC has been identified by Ministry of Culture, Government of India to prepare heritage bylaws. Whenever that modern regularizing the modern construction is concerned, already INTAC has been identified by our Ministry of Culture, Government of India. So in the coming year also we are going to do some collaborative measures. Yes, and then so I would like to welcome and thank our former director, Dr. Alkatti sir, is a source of inspiration for us, also to the convener INTAC. So it is high time. I have to tell to my staff also, whoever helped it for arranging this event successfully. It's whatever is going on. So thanks one and all. Yes, we will once again thank you very much. So we will work together in future activities also. Thank you very much.
Request our convener INTAC, Sri Satyaprakash Varnashi, to speak a few words about INTAC.
In a way, we all are very lucky. The fact that the World Heritage Day is being celebrated in a heritage ambience with great music in the air, which is going to be here shortly thereafter, a couple of activities come together. I don't know, will there be another occasion when you will get to hear music in this great place? And the fact that this has been put together in this way gives us a reason, and there is a reason. The reason is to look back at the past. See, we do know that our present is influenced by our past. We don't know exactly how, but yes, it is. And we also do know that what we do today is going to influence our future. It may be a little hazy, but we know it's going to influence one way or the other. And I think all the small little things we are doing in some way will help us to connect ourselves to our past and future. And I know that what all, thank you Arun Rai, he has been extremely good in suggesting and agreeing with our idea that this ambience should be used for this program. And I know the efforts which have gone in organizing this. The entire core group members, Meera Iyer, co-convener, Arvind, Pankaj, everyone has put in last couple of weeks full time into this nearly. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because we do believe, unlike many others believe that technology is the key to future. Many others believe that technology can shape a Bangalore of the future. We are not denying it. Technology can shape the future of Bangalore, definitely yes. But we also do believe that more than technology, culture and nature shape the future of a city. And if you look at what's happening today, among the major casualties in Bangalore today, unfortunately, it is culture and nature. And if you are going to have destructed nature and destroyed heritage, nature tomorrow, what future are we talking about? Of course, there will be future. There will be all kinds of comfort. There will be great amount of connectivity. There will be huge, big, success stories in communication. There will be affluence. There will be everything that we look for. But there may not be much of nature and culture. And we do believe that they have to be the foundation stones of the future. And we do believe that these kind of small actions we do, INTAC is also into many other activities, and so are many other people. I'm not just quoting about INTAC. There are a whole lot of heritage enthusiasts in Bangalore. So end of the day is for all of us to individually question, what am I doing for nature, what am I doing for culture? INTAC formed about 30 years ago with about 175 chapters all over India today. I can share this with you. It's one among the most unique organizations of its kind in the world. It's built on the spirit of voluntary spirit, and there are not many of its kind in the world. So it's something very unique. INTAC, through its varied activities, for more details you can please go through the websites, and I won't really take much time. We are all eager to also hear the chief guest. So please go through the websites, but INTAC works right from the built heritage to the intangible heritage to the natural heritage, the whole range, material heritage, we work at the whole range. And we do hope that these are collective institutional activities, but what is more important is not the institution, it is the individual. Individually, am I doing something which is harming the nature, or am I doing something which is helping the nature? Individually, am I doing something which will help in safeguarding heritage and culture somewhere, or individually, am I one of the villains of the culture and heritage? That's a kind of question we all should ask ourselves. And we are organizing this Of course, to enjoy the music this evening, but more than that, we are organizing all this so that all of us can go back home with this introspection so that we can have much better future. Thank you all.
Guest, Shri T. Mohandas Pai, to say a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm personally very delighted to be here today. Heritage and I are far apart. I've been part of this new industry which is destroying Bangalore, making lives miserable for all of you. And as I was in industry and in working with many civil activists like Naresh, Ravichandra and others, we realized that, as Ram Guwad keeps telling us, the soul of a nation is more important than anything that you see in the form of technology. And it's very important for all of us to ensure that the important things of our lives, like our history, our culture, our arts, our philosophy, our historians, our philosophers, our artists, our musicians, these are invested in, and these remain, and these add to the goodness that happens in society, and we make sure our children get used to this and get exposed to this. As modernity increases, we are losing many things. We're losing our language. And without our own native language, we cannot communicate to our children and to future generations all that we hold dear. We're losing some of our rituals that we had in the past. They may be meaningless, but they give us some kind of a root to our society. We are losing out on our stories, on our fables, on all the things our mothers and our grandmothers told us when we were small children. The songs that young mothers used to sing to their children. Now we have this Baba Black Sheep everywhere and all the stuff, which is okay, but it is not us. We are a different people. We have a great heritage. We have 5,000 years of history, whatever the history might be. It depends on how we interpret it. But nevertheless, we are part of a continuum, and we must preserve that continuum, and we must ensure that each generation interprets it in the manner that it wants, but it needs to be preserved. How many of us have read Kalidasa? How many of us have read many of those great Sanskrit, Sanskrit stories and the Ramayana and all that is our heritage? We're all missing out on something which is very important. It is also important we give it to our children in the way they understand. Today it happens that people like to read comics. We also read comics when we were children. So as part of a group, we created stories of Little Krishna and made it into a cartoon. Now I'm told it's very, very popular among small children. So instead of looking at Mickey Mouse and all that nice things, the good stuff, they look at Little Krishna, Beam, and whatever is available, to all these children. And in one period of our lives, I think we had all our old stories to Amar Chitrakita, and that was the means of transmission. I'm the chair of the Karnataka Tourism Vision Group, and when we're debating what needs to be done to improve tourism, we realize that so much of a heritage all across the country, all across the state, is not documented well, or if documented, is not available in one single place. Nobody knows where they are. It is with the Archaeological Survey of India. It is with INTAG. It is the archaeological part of the Karnataka government. It's certain people, but we don't have it in one single place. So we are trying to create a Karnataka tourism portal where we're going to gather all the artifacts and assets that we have of our heritage and everything else, and put into one single place, identify it, store it, record it, and put all the material that we have so that it's visible to all Kannadigas and to people all over the world. And to ensure that it becomes areas of destination for people to come, we're going to create tourist trials so people can use it for 2 or 3 days. An outstanding example is English Heritage in the UK. They have preserved their past very well. They've done so much of the nice stuff that they have, and they sell it very well. And if you travel to the United States, you see in the United States how every small thing is built into a fascinating experience for the people who go there. You pay an entry ticket and you visit all the artifacts, you read a lot of material, then you come out, you buy knickknacks, you buy books, you spend money. It becomes viable on its own because money is a big issue. So we're going to create this kind of things, and we've taken up about 10 to 12 heritage structures in the state to invest in and to work. And today we had a meeting, and we're struggling to realize who has got all this knowledge. And when I came here to meet INTAG, we are fascinated and very struck by what they have. When I spoke to the superintendent of Archaeological Survey of India and saw this book, all the details material is here. So we have to create this grand coalition of people who are interested in the soul of Karnataka and come together and try to see what we can to preserve, to enhance, to research, and to pass it on in a greater measure than what we have got. And this requires everybody coming together. I know there are many volunteer groups all over Bangalore and Karnataka. We're doing it. We want to bring visibility to them, and we want to make sure that some investment comes into them. In Karnataka, we started a focus on museums. You know, when you go to the Victoria and Albert Museum, when you go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the American Museum of Natural History, or you go to Berlin to see those great museums, you're struck by how well they've preserved the artifacts of the past, not only in their country, but in other countries. They brought it from Egypt, they brought it from Luxor, they brought it from Mesopotamia, they brought it from India, they brought all over. Possibly the Victoria Museum has got artifacts, much more artifacts from India than we have here, or they preserved it very well. And we go to the National Museum in Delhi, which has got a fascinating amount of exhibits. The curation is something that we need to invest in. The art of curation is very, very special. We don't seem to have enough people who know this art of curation. Vikram Sampath is now writing a paper to give it to the Prime Minister, because he was a artist in residence in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and he told me that he met the Prime Minister and told him that we need some kind of a policy to preserve all this and to create the human resources to carry it on in the form of curators, in the form of people who have specialized skills in the arts and the culture, create university department for archaeology. Archaeology seems to be a dying art. And to invest in them, as happens in many parts of the world. And we need to take pride in this and do it in a very nice manner. So I'm very happy to be here to release all this book and to see this great audience and to tell you that all of us have to come together and work in whatever which way. And as the chair of the Karnataka Tourism Vision Group, it will be our endeavor to get as many people as possible and to engage with you in whatever occasion that we have, so that we can work together. Maybe in the next 3 or 4 years, make that point of time much better than what it is today, for which you seek a cooperation. And it's great to be in this fort. And I must make a confession. I'm born in Bangalore many, many years ago, but I've never been here. And I'm shocked myself that I've never been here. Of course, we heard of the Bangalore fort. We went by this place and went by that road, and we thought something is here. We've been to Tipu's Palace, but never been here. Maybe we've never been here because the superintendent probably won't allow you, but I don't know. But we've never been here. And it's not for lack of curiosity. It's just that maybe, like a person in a city, you feel you're going to do it tomorrow, and by the time tomorrow comes, you're no longer there. So I think we got to work with Intact to create this heritage trials, heritage walkthrough. I went through a heritage walkthrough with my friend Mudar Pateya in Calcutta. And Ram, when I went to Writers' Building, I told Mudar that the proletariats won the revolution because they occupied all the space around the Writers' Building. Now I hear that Mamata Banerjee is vacated the building, she's redoing the building, right? And making it whatever it is. In fact, I told a friend of mine that the Rashtrapati Bhavan should be made into a museum in honor of the Indian freedom movement. It's such a big monument with one single president and 450 people staying there. It has to be a museum where Indians can go easily, walk in, like in the White House, see all these buildings all the time, see all the grand exhibits, hear the voices of the past, see the movies of the freedom movement, and everybody can go and rejoice in the greatness of the Indian freedom movement, because that is what made this country. So thank you very much for being here, and let's all work together for the future. Thank you.
We will now give away the Intact Heritage Awards. I call upon Mr. Pankaj Modi from Intact to announce the winners.
To mention the award winners, this is the first time that Intact has set up a Heritage Awards in Bangalore. And as the Chief Guest just mentioned, to preserve and enhance the city's heritage, the state's heritage, we need to institutionalize such kind of awards so that people are encouraged to preserve the heritage. So this is the first time that Intact has set up. And we've received about 50 nominations. And an eminent jury was set up. We had Dr. Chiranjeev Singh, Dr. SVP Halkati, and Mr. Anup Nayak, who were part of the jury to select the winners from these categories. So they basically identified 3 categories. We have the awards now under 3 categories: the public buildings and the private buildings and private institutional buildings. And the winners, and I would request them to please come on the stage and receive their citations. For the public building, we have B Station at MG Road. May I request somebody from KPTCL to please come on to the stage? Yes, Mr. Mohandas Pai to please give away this. Were given based on the architectural integrity, value of the building, their maintenance, and the contribution they make to the city's heritage in the identity of the city's heritage. These were the parameters that were considered by the jury to give the awards. The next building under the public category, it was such a difficult thing for them to decide on the buildings, so they had to basically select two buildings under which would receive the awards. The next building is the Seshadri Memorial Hall, the popularly known as the Central Library of Bangalore. May I request them to please come on the stage and receive the award. Ms. Mamta from Seshadri Memorial Hall. The next award for their unique character and a category of their own, the monuments of distinctive characters such as the wooden architecture, the jury has given a special award to Tipu's Palace and Bangalore Fort. May I request Mr. Arun Raj to receive this award. The next award is for institutional buildings, private institutional buildings, and this award goes to Mahila Seva Samaj School. Accomplishment that has been running for many years now. I request the trustees to please come on this Ash Award, which will be given to them. These awards have been supported to us with Good Earth Ecological Futures Private Limited. We thank them for their support. This building was, Mahila Seva Samaj was inaugurated by Annie Besant. And we are very proud of this institution which has been running for many years now. Awards are the residential private buildings. And we again have two buildings which have been identified. The first one is Perfect Peace, Paul D'Souza. This is a unique layout called the Inner Circle and Outer Circle in Whitefield, and we thank him for preserving his heritage building, ancestral home,